You know, I feel like I failed. Since I was a kid and started watching YouTube, like many of you and kids my age when we were like 10, 11, 12, I always told myself, you know what, one day, when I get older, I'll start a YouTube channel of my own and become a YouTuber, just like my favorite creators at that time. And at that time, I was really into PewDiePie. You know, and even today, I still see him as like the best creator that YouTube ever saw. Anyways, I never did start my YouTube channel. Not because, I was scared or didn't have the time, or, because as a kid, you have all the time in the world. You've got nothing else, maybe you've got a bit of homework, but nothing more. You spend your time playing. But I never started the channel because I was just told that I would never make it, and I believed those people who told me those things. And fast forward to today, and all my life feels like a waste. All the goals I've given myself have never been achieved. When I started university, I decided to study computer science, as it was a field that got me really interested. And I told myself when I started that I would try and become good at it, one of the best. That I'd be able to build any software that I ever imagined. But things didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. But it turned out good for all of my friends who started computer science at the same school as I did. In a year they started getting good and doing some amazing stuff while I was still figuring out how to use the terminal on my computer. And if this seems fairly technical to you, to put it in easier terms, I felt like this was starting to run and I was still figuring out how to lift my head up from the floor. And that's something that really got my motivation down, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I felt the same way about this when I started the gym. If you've seen the previous video, I said that now I'm here, new life, I left home, and I started going to the gym as often as I could, and I started going with a friend of mine. We had the same weight, same physical strength, and we used to lift the same weights, and we had the same body mass and same height. We were very alike, in physically speaking. And now, about 2 months later, he's lifting much heavier than I am. He looks much better than I do. And the worst of all is that I've been putting my weights down. Instead of going forward, I've been going backwards. It's hard watching the people around you surpass you in all the ways you wanted to get better. And it feels even more horrible to see, people who might think do not deserve what they're good at, but they just managed to get there before you. And yeah, I think many people out there might feel the same way as I do right now. And even though it's hard, well, I'm sure you're good at things. You just don't know it yet. Maybe you're good at storytelling, but you just haven't given it a shot yet. Maybe you're a good artist. You can see stuff that people don't see in the picture or in a painting. You manage to see the beauty in some things that others just don't, and that makes you different from them. I'm certain that we all have something more to give to this world, and we just haven't found it yet. We're too scared to find it because we're trying to to be like everyone else. Just to say, to come back on that idea, is like we all have something unique in ourselves, and being unique is what we should try and look for and aim for. And I just want to end like this very short video by saying that we should try to stop focusing on others and start looking at ourselves in a mirror. You're beautiful, and I mean it really. You behind that screen. You're just different, and that is what makes you the person that you are. And you might not like yourself right now, but you're going to love yourself when you find out who you really are inside. And you should feel proud about yourself and all the things you've achieved and all of your goals. That means you're a dreamer, someone who builds worlds. And the world needs people like you. And whatever you want to achieve, or whatever goals you've set yourself, you should try and get there. It might take a few years, maybe a decade, or it could take you a month. You won't know until you start. And so all of that, just to say that feeling like you've wasted your whole life and like you're a failure is because you really care about what you want to achieve, and your mind is telling you that you should go back there, get out there, fight, and be the best. And I just want to say that I'm sure many people will feel the same way as I do right now. And yeah. I hope you'll start looking at things differently from now on, and that you'll take life more as a game, But life, even though life gives us challenges, from time to time just to test us, doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. No, it's just the beginning of a new it's just the beginning of a new adventure, and a new challenge is something new you can learn about. And with that being said, thanks for popping by, staying with me until the end. My Minecraft house might be starting to look a bit more. Might need to get a bit of sand, for the windows. And I'm going to try and do a little terrace here. Or maybe I'll have to think about where I'll put the view for the terrace. But anyways, I'm getting a bit lost. But just anyways, yeah. Thanks for coming by, and have a great day, evening, night, good night, maybe, good morning, and see you in the next one.